Okay. Just let me get my diffuser on. Okay. Hello, my name is Dr. Sharnael Warburton Sihon. I am with Swiftfire. I think I am live here. Let's see. It's hard to tell on here. My glasses are dirty too. That helps. Okay, it says live, but I'm not seeing anything move. So usually it'll pop up and say you're live, but I'm not seeing that yet. So hopefully we are live. Wanted to talk to you guys a little bit today about quantum health, some ways that we can help ourselves with quantum health, and some different technologies that are available through quantum health. I wanted to touch base on grounding and essential oils and zappers and Rife and bioscans and some of the other things, and go into a little bit about what the FDA situation is with that as well. So, hi, there you go. Awesome. I'm going to give it a couple minutes here to make sure. If you don't mind, whoever is on, I'm only seeing one comment, but can you tell me where you are calling from, or where you're watching from, I should say, not calling. I would love to see who is all on here now. Okay, yes, it's showing up that it's live now. Okay, there's a little bit of a delay. I don't know if it's my my internet is a little bit slow, but can you guys hear me okay? Everybody? I'm gonna give it just a couple minutes. Is the sound okay, you guys? Oh, I got my kitty here in the back. We got Jeannie here from Orlando. We got Carmelia. The sound is good. Okay, we got Connecticut. Terry's here. Hey, Terry. Who else? Yes, awesome. Figure out how to do this. Jessica, where are you? Oh, where are you living now, Jess? I don't even know where you are anymore. I haven't talked to you in a while. Good to see you. Oh, you're in Michigan. I knew that. Cold. Okay. Kathy's here. Julia's here. Robin, hello. Robin, haven't seen you in a while. Awesome. St. Louis. Awesome. Okay, so also want to, elephant in the room, my cat, I was going to say breastfeeding. I'm not breastfeeding. I'm bottle feeding. Two different things. Hey, Heather. Illinois is here. Texas is here. I'm bottle feeding, Southern Oregon. I'm bottle feeding two small kittens. Hey, Heather and O'Neill. Heather O'Neill. Hey, Heather. And not breastfeeding. Bottle feeding. Make sure you say that right, Shar. Anyway, so one of them is very sick. So prayers to that, because there were 4 of them and 2 of them passed. One of them is kind of weak right now. Anyway, laying down because I was exhausted. You got a bottle feed like every 2 hours. And I was up at like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, bottle feeding, like half asleep. And when they get excited and I made the mistake of putting it like right here by my face, and it caught its fingers on my mouth and literally couldn't get off. Then he was trying to get off. And yeah, do you know that, true story, just a fun fact, busting a lip, there's a lot of blood with that. It's a lot more blood than you would think. And carroty, but I use helichrysum and lavender and some other things, and yeah, now it looks just a little, it got 2 little claws there. So anyway, but tonight, I don't want to keep you guys talking about kitties, but I want to talk to you about quantum health. Really excited about this topic. It's what I'm very, very passionate about, and some of you know I'm a naturopathic doctor, so that means I do everything I possibly can on the health side anyway, without prescriptions. I'm not anti-prescription. I'm not anti-medical. I'm not anti-surgery. I am just pro doing everything possible that you can possibly do before all those things. I'm very pro wellness. I'm very pro high energy things and nature and supplements and oils and grounding and mental and emotional and spiritual health as well. Good nutrition, diet, exercise. We're going to talk about a lot of this stuff, and I know I'm going to jam pack a bunch of this in, but what I did is with each topic, like for one thing, I have the topic of grounding, the topic of zappers and parasites. I have a topic of bioscans. I have subtopics of each of these things, and I have full like 30-minute videos explaining more detail in some of the other topics that are individual. So I added those links here because if you're like, oh my gosh, I really want to learn about parasites, or I really want to learn about grounding, or I really want to learn about essential oils, or whatever the thing is, then you have separate top links here in this link in the post. And you can go do some further investigations with that. Also, I want to let you know, I'm going to keep this up in this group probably for about a week. So anyone who wants to invite anyone in here, please invite whoever you want to come in this group. It's an open group for anybody who wants to learn more about anything outside the box, because we are truthers and we're going to talk health, we're going to talk frequency, we're going to talk, God, source, energy, nature, maybe even UFOs or conspiracy reality. Whatever. We're gonna talk about all the things in this group. This is the all the things group. So it's called Divine Science and the Human being, the divine human being. And also, we are divine. That means a lot of different things, and divine science means a lot. And so I am all about truthing, and I love the truth. And, I think that we can all handle the truth. And that's my job or my passion, is to educate people in the truth. If you've seen some of my latest posts, I'm even posting declassed CIA things and stuff. So, when I say literally going out there with the truth, I'm going out there with the truth. And these are public things. It's just about digging. And if you take the time to dig and look, then you will find a lot of things that maybe people aren't talking about. So I like talking about the things that nobody's talking about and making sure that we're all up to speed on what's the real deal here, right? So what is quantum health? Quantum health. Well, first of all, what is quantum? And if just by show of hands too, real quick, how many of you have never actually heard me speak before? I'm just wondering, or how many don't know anything about quantum health? I am a naturopathic doctor. I've been a part of swiftfire.org in this industry about 20 years with ministry and health. I'd love to see if anyone's out there that you're like brand new to this, and just give me a high five or something. But quantum, there's a difference between quantum and physics. Physics is anything natural that you can like hold, touch, feel, knock on wood. The quantum is the unseen. I love the unseen because just because you can't see it doesn't mean it isn't there. The quantum is the unseen, and it's real. So quantum it can be the supernatural, which is actually still natural. Quantum can be waves, it could be brain waves, it could be frequency, it could be sound. Just because there's a radio on or Wi-Fi on in the house and you don't see the Wi-Fi, it doesn't mean that it's not there doing things. So definitely that's the difference between quantum versus just regular health and or physical health or physical quantum physics. Quantum physics is the unseen physics. Physics is just regular physics. So I hope that gives some differentiation there. I have loved studying neuroscience and quantum physics for a couple decades now, and just really enjoy learning and as an eternal student about how to apply these things to our natural body. Because, you know, I'll be just straight with you, a lot of this stuff we've had around since the 40s and even the 30s, and we've had natural health healing modalities that should have been around already, but they have been withheld. And I'm not going to go into a whole lot of that, but there shouldn't be anything on the planet as far as dis-ease that we are dealing with anymore if we had all of the technology that is available to us that for whatever reason hasn't been made available to us yet. And this has been years and years and years, and there's a certain president that is trying very hard to make these technologies to be declassed. But so what is frequency? Frequency is a rotation of energy that cycles through, and it can be measured. And so an average human adult on a healthy day is 67 megahertz. And I mean, just like a light bulb has megahertz or different things have megahertz, we as people are energetic beings. We are spirit beings having a physical situation through energy. Even scriptures talk about we wrestle not against flesh and blood. That word wrestle actually means we vibrate against. So we can be one vibration and something else can be another vibration, and those things may not match up. They could be in discord or dissonance. And then there's resonance when we are at a good sound. You know, you can meet up with someone who is in a high vibe and you're in a high vibe, and that's helpful to you. Now, frequency can be caught, it can be transferred, it can be felt, it can, it can be heard. I don't know if you've ever been or watched something on TV or talked to someone on the phone and you just could instantly call BS on the sound of what someone was saying or what they were saying on the television. Anybody? Probably just like one or two of you. But yeah, there is a frequency to the sound of what people say, and we all actually have a sound. And there is technology that can test our words and tell us where we're at, even emotionally, physically, and what's going on with dis-ease just by our speaking. So, I mean, I'm telling you, the technologies that are out there now, a lot of the stuff that is, like I said, it has even tried to come to the surface, those people just vanish, which is very, when someone has gotten this technology out, there's been multiple people who have already cured many, many, many diseases that are very important to the pharma companies. So, big pharma and insurance companies and everybody gets something off of all the stuff that's, that disease is a big, huge industry. And so there's not a lot of people maybe interested in having things completely gone. There are research projects that have grants that are given millions of dollars a year, that the only stipulation is that they're going to keep getting this grant money for, quote, research as long as they never find the answer to the disease, if they don't find a resolve. So who's in a hurry to actually get research that works? Because then the grant money stops, right? It's just kind of counter-ish to me. And there's some countries all over the world that literally you don't get paid as a doctor unless you help someone recover or restore or get resolve in their dis-ease in their body. So, if I think that if it was more focused, kind of like sales, where people, you get something for what you're doing. It's not just like clock in, here's your 10 minutes, here's your prescription. We don't really know what's going on, but here, this will stop the pain. And then they're out the door, and you still don't even really know the source of why there is dis-ease, then that can be an issue. So so frequency can be felt, it can be heard. And when I say felt, when I feel frequency, sometimes I feel it in my physical body, whether it's coming off of like Wi-Fi or pollution from the computers or the internet. Side note, iPhones have the least amount of radiation, and you can actually buy these little EMF protectors to go on your iPhones to help too, because with pollution, that's really important. You want to not let that bombard you with radiation. But I usually feel it like in my gut if it's about a person or a feeling with a person. It's your second brain. There's a lot of movement in your core as far as frequency, but also your heart. And then some people just feel it like in their head. They might get like headaches, can't so clear, or dis-ease, or something, just different things. But frequency can be transferred. So we talked about like laying of the hands or praying for people, or just hugs. Hugs will not only give frequency, but they also do different things with serotonin, oxytocin, dopamine. 20-second hug can do a lot of different things physically for your immunity. So there's also this upgrade in frequency, like getting your battery charged. Now, you could get a hug from someone who doesn't charge your battery, but actually takes, so there's those people too. And no judgment. I've probably done both of those things, and we all have. But that's why it's really important to be mindful and just to know in our hearts, like what we can do to be responsible for our own frequency, for our own energy, and to be givers, but not givers in a way that we are spending our energy, but be givers in a way that we just are energy, and we are radiating out, and we are igniting everyone we contact for the better good, but not in a way to give out where we don't have. So to be sovereign, to radiate with sovereignty, if that makes sense, because then it's not like someone's taking more than they should, or you're giving more than you should, but you just are, and you and your being are that frequency of love or truth or health or whatever it is, and you're able to help and support others just by your presence, without even any words, without any touch. But massage is really a good deal. You've heard of Reiki, which is basically prayer energy. We, with our thoughts and with our intentions, we can focus on that. There is remote healing. That is super popular. I just actually posted a lot of different stuff on CIA projects that have been going on since the 40s, all over the world. I showed a documentary clip on that, Third Eye Spies. They've been using this to spy on different war type stuff, and NASA has used it, if there is NASA. But anyway, that's another story. So, but there was a 16-year, I found out about remote healing just because there was a 16-year-old boy who was working with an astronaut who had cancer, and he was literally just, sending love and energy and working with his physical body, the astronaut's physical body, long distance. One was in Washington and one was in Florida at the time. And the dude didn't do anything else except for nutrition, and he got completely healed. So I know that portions of that time he was actually out in space, and the kid was helping him. So there's so much. This is so big. Remote viewing, remote healing. You have to understand that this is built in our DNA already. Healing is already a part of the technology that you were born with. You were born already to heal yourself. That's what we do. If you cut yourself, you're going to automatically kick in and start healing. And so, same thing with the remote resurrection power, bilocating. All these things that are, quote, supernatural are actually just natural things that we should be doing on a regular basis all the time, when we can upgrade the code and we can awaken to the code and awaken to remember who we really are, which goes into the Science of Miracles, which is the book that I've written. If you don't have that book, this is supposed to be everyday normal stuff for us, of just completely living the normal, awesome, supernatural, which is just natural moments of what we're supposed to do. Now, frequency can lower based on who you're around, because people can take. They have technology cameras now that can show where if one person is around another person and one person is taking, it shows the energy being like vampired to that person who's ever taking, vice versa. You can see when it's given. They've done projects with plants. If you guys haven't looked into, what's his name, Clive Baxter, who invented the lie detector. He did tons and tons and tons of experiments with plants that were set up on lie detectors, and he would talk to them and do different things, and he would even be 40 miles away, set his clock, speak to these plants, and the plants, when he would get there, it would show on the record how they would respond to him being in his car 40 miles away talking to them. So there's no time and distance. If you've ever studied anything about the trees talking, trees and plants have a whole network of communication, and that's why essential oils are so important, because oils are alive. Essential oils are intelligent. They're the blood of the plant, which has the DNA of the plant. So, and we'll get into that. But frequency lowers when we eat crap food, when we hang around negative people, Debbie Downer. Probably one of you have a Debbie Downer in your life, cancel clear. Let's see, negative music, television, movies, video games, anything that makes you feel like, I'm sure you guys have experienced that before, where you're just like, you go see a movie or you go hang out with someone or you go eat something, and when you're done, you're like, or even halfway through, you feel like vampired out, cancel, right? So you're just like, you feel less than you were when you started. And that can, like I said, that can be measured and seen. Now, the opposite is also true. We can listen to uplifting music and television and YouTubes, and you can have a great coach or a great people in your life, your family, your friends. Laughter is huge frequency. Watching funny movies. I've worked with a lot of people over the years who literally, I know part of my program whenever I was having my illness situation in the past was like, I just popped on a few of my favorite movies and I would watch them over and over and over, because laughter is very, very high frequency. Coffee, unfortunately, will bring your frequency down 20% after you just even walk into St. Arbuck's. But you can, you can up it when you're using essential oils with it. Now, so that's really important. Okay, someone is texting me. But anyway, so now what kind of technologies can I list? Just for a few of them. There are zappers. Did I bring one? Okay, so I'm going to put a link in here for this. But this is a frequency just on a battery, a 9-volt battery. Put a 9-volt battery in here, and you put this on your skin with copper, and it's a frequency-based little machine. I wear it like right in the hip of my belt, and I wear it every day. And it zaps out parasites, but it also helps keep frequency in the body. I know it sounds crazy, but I have all the science on this, and I will send you the link to that, or I think it's already in here. But that's one thing. There's grounding devices, which, like this, goes around your wrist or your ankle, and then you plug this in to just the grounding part of the electrical, and it will ground you. I wear this when I go to sleep, because there is such huge healing power in grounding. And there is a free YouTube documentary that I will put in here if I haven't. That used to be a paid documentary, but someone put it on YouTube, I guess. And it goes into how it helps with pain, babies who were born who had pain, that they were using them even with small children. Anyway, for this and for this, both that helps tremendously with grounding. and with pain and with overall dis-ease and or parasites, which parasites, that's a whole nother topic, but they have energy of their own. Talk about taking, and then it leaves an energetic biofield of take and puts you in the victim seat. So victim energy, if you're walking in victim energy, then basically you anyone that comes into your path, whether they know you or not, they're going to be able to feel that you're an easy target, cancel clear. And so we want to be victorious. I choose to be victorious. I am victorious. So I stay in my victory and do my best to kill any parasites, because I am around a lot of animals with fostering kittens. That was my 90, I have 91 so far that I fostered kittens. And we have a lot of dogs. So that means there's different critters and stuff like that. But parasites do take from any nutritional things that you're taking, any food or nutrition that you're taking. You know, it could deplete the necessary nutrition that's required for you because they're taking it. And then of course they poop in your body, and then that leaves problems with that too. So very important to deal with that. Now, there's also Rife Machines, which I would very much encourage you to Google Royal Rife. I personally own a Rife. He was offed. He's another one that was off. By the way, Dr. Hilda is the one who created this, and she passed away mysteriously. I mean, a lot of these people who come up with this stuff, the guy who did this grounding device, he actually lives here in town, and he is a genius, and I'm going to get an interview with this guy because he could talk circles around all of us. And he communicates in a way that you actually understand it, but he really, really gets it. Look up Royal Rife, because he actually came up with the frequency machine, because they started testing with every dis-ease. There was a counter frequency that could shift the negative in the body to bring it back to balance. And so let's say if it was, I don't know, name it, Alzheimer's or depression or kidney stuff or whatever, if let's say that was a negative 15, so it would put in a positive 15. I'm just really making this up to just give you the basics, but it would put in the opposite of that, and you sit with that sound going through your body in a cycle, and within time it's gone. You're just completely healed. Now he wanted everybody to have this technology, and it was stolen from him because, anyway, yes, Royal Rife, look him up. He's passed now, and there are a few machines that people found even after all his books and everything were stolen mysteriously, just like people who've come up with the free car stuff and all that. You know, those people, gasless cars, they just go missing. And a lot of naturopathic doctors in the last couple of years have just gone missing, cancel clear. So I don't know. But anyway, okay, so let's talk about BioScan. So BioScan is remote technology that you can actually scan someone by their voice and taking a picture of your aura or your biofield, and then the technology actually comes up with protocols for what you need to do to counteract that. It can send the frequencies to your body, remote, long distance. So I have patients in Australia, New Zealand, England, Germany, Canada, wherever, that I can zap anytime, all day, and also give them full reports of what's going on. And it is so accurate. It goes into the biology, anatomy, the brain waves, the heart, the sacred geometry, if it sometimes. It goes in, it takes a picture of the biofield. It goes into, I'm leaving stuff out too, what supplementation, what nutrition. Anyway, it's very, very specific, and I have a whole class on that too, but someone's saying, explain cancel clear. So yeah, good, thanks for asking. Why do I say cancel clear? So there's an energy and frequency to each word that we say, And when we say something, we are co-creating, and I am co-creating. And sometimes I say things that I don't wish to keep going and or to create. So I will cancel them, and then I will clear the energy so I don't mistakenly, by default, create something that is less than love. I choose to be really purposeful with my language, and I have classes on conscious language, which I think you will really enjoy. For example, people who say things like, quote, "it's hard, cancel clear," they've determined that people who say things like that start creating tumors in their body, and cancel clear that. So there are things that we say that actually create, and I have a whole thing on that. So conscious language is huge. Okay, let's talk about essential oils and the FDA. Now, when I am, yeah, that's a good one too. That's a really good book. I love Power versus Force. Thank you for sharing that, Angie. Now, when I talk about essential oils, please understand that I am talking about 2 different companies in the whole world that I would ever endorse. One is called Young Living, and another is called Swiss Aromatics. And why is that? So almost 15 years ago now, I started studying essential oils because essential oils also have frequency. Like, for example, if we're 67 megahertz, if we start getting low on frequency, you can get into like the 40s or the 50s, and you're going to have some serious dis-ease in the body. You are already in the dying stages at 25 megahertz, and even after you're dead, you still have frequency to your body up to 3 weeks. So we can do some things to counteract and create higher frequency. Like when I was mentioning going in to have coffee, you put on frankincense before you go, then you're not going to dip. You're just going to either stay where you are or increase, actually, because like peppermint is 118 megahertz, lavender is 98, helichrysum is 157. I don't have them all memorized, but a lot of them are very high and much higher than 67 megahertz. Now, when I'm talking about essential oil, sorry, that's my dogs. Again, I'm only talking about 2 different companies. And the reason why I say these 2 different companies is because years ago, I tested about 23 different companies because I'm a teacher. I love data, and I only teach the truth, nothing but the truth. So, basically, I went to go look at all the companies there are that were then, or at least a lot of them, 23 of them. And what we found out is when we would test them, there were all kinds of solvents and additives and different things in these bottles. So, and to be honest, most of it was propylene glycol, which is antifreeze. You don't want to put that on your body. You don't want to diffuse that in your house. That is not good for you. And to be disgusting, there was a lot of other things that were found in these bottles, including semen, urine, feces, lots of stuff like that. And coming from a Christian background or a spiritual background at the time, I was thinking, well, this would be really smart for anyone on the other side to be able to mark and have gateways for the people who are using these and putting this on their body and diffusing this in their house, because then there's an opening gateway, because anything with DNA or blood is definitely a gateway spiritually. So that really freaked me out, to be really blunt. And when I did find 2 companies that had not only the entire bottle was 100% oil, in both of these companies, we tested multiple of them, and they were all very, very, there was nothing else in there. So I contacted the FDA, and I was like, how come people can put whatever on the labels and they're full of all this other stuff, and then some companies have it full? And their explanation was that you can put 100% natural or therapeutic grade A if there's at least 98%, if there's 3% of a real oil in a bottle, you can label it 100% therapeutic grade A. So in other words, like 3 drops in a 15 ml bottle, and you can put on the label 100% therapeutic. And the rest, they don't have to tell you what it is, which is crazy to me. At least if you go to the store and get cranberry juice at Walmart or something. First of all, good luck getting cranberry juice at Walmart. But at least, you know, you might be tricked by the marketing. It might say like 100% natural, or it won't say grade A or whatever, but it's going to say something to make you think that this is really good for you. But the good news is you could turn it around and read the back, and you can at least see, oh, actually this is only 3% juice and the rest is fructose or sugar water, or it's got apple juice mostly. And so you're sitting there thinking one thing, but you're getting something else, and that's not good. Now, the reason why is because they're not saying that the entire bottle is 100%. They're saying that the oil inside this bottle is 100%. So that's the trick, where they were saying they weren't lying because they're, quote, being honest, but this and that entire bottle would not be 100%. It was more like 3 drops. Well, tell you what, I had a lot of that stuff because being in ministry, people would use it to pray or, you know, give it as gifts or whatever. And I didn't really know what I was doing or what I was dealing with. And when I first really got a real set of Young Living oils and started using it, you can feel, smell, taste, tell the difference. Like, there's no doubt whatsoever. You're like, wow, that's black and white. There's another company that I won't name. They actually put a vanilla, synthetic vanilla in almost every one of their bottles. And the only thing that I can think of why they would do that is because it actually gives you a chemical reaction in your brain that simulates a sugar response. Like you know, it'd be like if you smelled chocolate or something. It stimulates the brain that causes addiction. So these people, I think this is just the devil to me, for them to put all kinds of crap in these oil bottles and then include a synthetic vanilla. So you're freaking addicted to these trash oils that are going to actually cause problems instead of helping you. So when I first started my practice as a naturopath, people weren't really using oils, to be honest. And then the more it's gotten trendier and trendier, there are like thousands of oil companies now. I mean, you can buy freaking gas station oils at this point. You can get them at Target, Michael's, Bed Bath & Beyond. I mean, there are everywhere oils. And yeah, you might be able to get an oil and it's like, oh, well, this is, you know, $4 or whatever. Yeah, well, what's in it? Because propylene glycol is pretty cheap. So, you know, if you get what you're paying for, just if you go to a health food store right now, I can get 14 ounces of carrot juice and I could watch them in front of me, get the carrots and juice them in front of me, and then I will walk out with 14 ounces. Now, I could take that same 14 ounces and buy 17 big milk cartons and empty them all out and add a bunch of sugar water and then put in a few drops of carrot juice in each one of those things and sell them all for $5 and make money. But is the person who drinks that fructose going to get any benefit from the few little drops of the carrot juice in there? No. Carrot juice is really good for your body and really full of high vibe nutrients. Vitamin A, great for your eyes, great for your blood. High vibe, raw carrots and raw juice, super good for you. But mixed up with sugar, you've just killed it. And so same thing with these oils. You know, whether it's propylene glycol or what have you, the FDA does not require anyone to market to put what the ingredients are inside. That is not mandatory yet. This is something that I wish they would do, but it's not mandatory yet. Young Living only has 100% the entire bottle, and so does Swiss Aromatics in California. Now, Swiss Aromatics only has like maybe 40 products in their catalog compared to Young Living, which is why I represent Young Living and why I work with them. But now, there are whole charts on the different frequencies of what the oils are. I can drop that in this post and you guys can get that, but for the sake of time, Am I like way over? Probably. What time is it, guys? I promised 30 minutes and I'm past. So I will drop that chart here, but I did want to let any of you guys know if you're interested in getting a kit. There is a membership kit that you can get through Young Living with me. And not only do you get about $250 worth of oils, but you get samples of different things too. You get frankincense, which has 100, which is worth $100 just itself, but you get this whole like beautiful thing of this. Thank you for being my timekeeper. And you get, some of you are already using it. If you're already using Young Living, say hi, or and like let me know. I know a lot of you are already using this, but I just want to put it out there because I don't talk about it very often. But there is, with anyone who joins with us today, we have a special group where we have 40 different practitioners in there that answer questions and help people, and we do testimonies, and you know, it's just a community of people who are all working together and teaching each other and just learning. Yes, so there's lots of people on here doing this. Awesome. So you also get a diffuser, which my favorite one is the Desert Mist. That's just my personal favorite one. But you want to be very careful about diffusers too. For those of you who are listening, who are already doing this, Young Living, if you have a real oil, the main job of an oil is to clean the cells, to raise the frequency. Clean the cells, it goes past the brain barrier, and it goes into the blood. So it works on a DNA level, epigenetics level. So, and it kills and clears out, detoxes anything that is synthetic. So you do not want to put real oils in a plastic, you know, I don't know, Bed Bath & Beyond diffuser, because it will start to melt the plastic, and then that'll go in the atmosphere and you're breathing that in, and that causes major hormone issues as far as estradiol and hormone disruptors. So you don't want to mess around with that. You don't want to put orange or lemon or any of that in your plastic bottles when you drink it, because it will melt the plastic and you'll be drinking in the plastics. You want to use glass, you want to use ceramic, maybe a mug or something. But yeah, very, very helpful to bring up frequency. I clean with all my oils. I have tons of testimonies on that. And for everybody who wants to join with us, then I can give that link in here too. And I will have a special gift for everybody who joins up with me too. So I have went way over. I do want to remind you that I have this book about keto, which is sugar-free. We talked about sugar and being addictive to sugar. That is a major frequency issue, and that will plummet your frequency. Sugar can bring your frequency down for 3 whole days. Now, we're coming up in the winter season. I'm not going to call it the dark winter, cancel clear. But we are coming up in the winter season. Why in the winter are there more issues? Well, number one, October is Halloween. So there is that. People are starting to buy candy and have candy, and probably not eat all the candy on the first day of Halloween, but maybe stretch it out for the several weeks, right? Then there's also, it is physically darker, so less sun means less DNA. So the DNA is down, the frequency is down, the sugar is up, the immunity is down, cancel clear, all that. And then we're getting into the holidays. So we're going straight into Thanksgiving, we're going into Christmas. So, you know, the best thing that we can do is keep up the frequency, because if your frequency is 67 megahertz and over, and your vitamin D is up, then it doesn't matter if you walk in and touch and eat the plague. You won't get it. It's not what someone can give you. It's about you, and you being responsible to set yourself up to the highest frequency that you won't catch anything. You're not going to get anything if you keep yourself in a high frequency. And you can do that through nutrition, supplements, grounding, getting out in nature, getting in the sun, taking magnesium baths, getting plenty of sleep, cutting down on the coffee, maybe not even drinking coffee, maybe cutting down a little on the alcohol or whatever. Drink tea, drink lots of water, stay hydrated. You know, vitamin C, vitamin D, greens, lots of green juice, you know, grounding, zappers, high vibe crystals, and things like that. These all have frequency too, believe it or not. I'm a scientist. I'm looking at this all on a science level, and I'm telling you that there are things that we can be responsible, as in responsible. We are responsible in this situation. That we don't have to let anything, quote, happen to us, but we can stand and stay in love and in the high frequency of God, who is love, in our DNA, and we can radiate that out in sovereignty, and we're not affected because only God touches us. And so I hope this has been helpful for you guys. Some of my favorite decrees are: God is the only power and presence acting to me, through me, in me, and around me now. I ignite the Christ in everyone I contact. My dog is barking a lot. What are some other ones? I have to think. I have a whole list of decrees in here in my book. Let's see. I'll just read a few to you. Well, maybe I won't. But I will tell you, it talks about frequency hopping, kingdom versus kingdom. It goes into created miracles, talks about the science of gratitude. It talks about words. It talks about social media, group texts, and different ways that on a collective we can have more issues if we're not careful. I have lots of pictures in the book that give you graphs on things about the field, the biofield. If we change our biofield, and real quickly I'll end with this. Your biofield, everyone has one. It's about 6 to 8 feet all around you. It is unseen. It's a quantum. Now, some people see it, depending on if they're activated. But when you're activated and that's turned on, you all have the technology to see this. And some people are activated and see it. And when we have our what our biofield consists of is everything we think, talk about, and feel. Think, talk about, and feel. Think, talk about, and feel. That's what's in the code of our biofield. Now, the other thing I will add to that is there is a signature code to your DNA and all your organs. So if you have dis-ease in an organ, let's say your liver is full and you haven't done a liver cleanse in a long time, then it will cause dis-ease or lack of love in the liver. Liver usually is a carrier of bitterness, anger, unforgiveness, that kind of stuff. So what happens? It's not clean, it's not working, and it's sending out signals into the biofield. This biofield consists of, again, what you think, what you talk about, what you feel, and also signature codes of your DNA and your organs. And so if your liver is less than love and not functioning the best that it can, what does that do to your biofield? It goes out with unforgiveness, bitter, hate, anger. Guess what you collect? Because the biofield is radiating out, but it also is magnetizing back in. So if you're collecting a bunch of grumpy, bitter, I'm not going to use the words that are coming to my mind, then that means that something's going on with your own liver or your own heart of having and carrying unforgiveness, and or your liver can be a carrier of that. Maybe time to get a liver cleanse. Maybe time to get a parasite cleanse. If you're sending out victim energy and all of a sudden everyone's taking advantage of you, maybe time to check on the parasite issue. There's lots of things that you could do for food and supplements for parasites as well. Periphery is really great. Garlic, they hate garlic. Anyway, so does that make sense? So that's why the biofield is so important, and that's why we can take responsibility for our own energy and what we're putting out there. We can stop letting, quote, things happen to us, and we can be the co-creators and authors of our own lives, getting our own positive, miraculous miracles on a regular, moment to moment to moment to moment to moment. Capiche? All right, I love all of you. Please invite anyone you want to this, and we'll leave it up for a week. And if you have any questions, please put them in here. I will come and look at these questions, and I will answer the best of my abilities. I will add links to whatever I didn't add links to and forgot. And I will remember to do that. And please stay tuned, because I'm going to be doing several of these in the future and would love to connect. And if anyone would like to connect with me in Young Living, you can go to www.drsharnael.com. If any of you are already members and you want to invite other people to learn about what I just did, you could just invite them and tell them, hey, contact me or whatever. Like if you're, I don't want to take from anyone. I'm just trying to help support any of you who are already doing this. If you have someone that maybe doesn't understand all this, you can just say, hey, go listen to Dr. Sharnael and then call me or something like that. So that way people can hear and understand, but they can still go back to you because you already told them about it first. I'm not interested. Matter of fact, every person who calls me, I'll say, how did you find out about me? And if they say, oh, Heather O'Neill told me, I'll be like, okay, let me get Heather's number and we'll connect you. So I'm not into the energy of I'm clear on that. So I'm only here to serve and to get as many people to understand this as possible. So feel free to welcome whoever you want in this group and to invite them to understand this. I may even put it, no, I'm not. I'm going to keep it here because I want to keep it in a place that's compliant, like that I can keep control of it. So love you guys. Have a great night. Have any cool topics you want me to cover, you can pop that in here. Send prayers. I'm sending all my prayers and love to each and every one of you as well. I thank you so much for, oh my gosh, I'm getting emotional. I thank you for coming and hanging out with me tonight. It's been a couple hard weeks, to be honest, with Dr. Stewart passing, and then Mary's mom passing, and a dear friend of mine got in a car accident. I have his funeral tomorrow. My 16-year-old cat had to put down 2 of my kitties that I was fostering, all in like 2 weeks time. So I am just like, if I'm a little frazzled, apologies. And I know that I'm not the only one. I know that many of you are going through your version of that, and I'm very aware of that because I coach people all day long. I do biofield sessions and remote sessions, and I hear your stories with consultations, and there's a lot happening on the planet right now. The Schumann resonance is crazy. It's a lot of spikes, a lot of riots, stuff going on, and so please understand that I'm here to love and serve and support you the best way that I can, and I love every single one of you with all of me, every bit of me. So please know that. All right. Love you. Talk to you soon. Bye.